Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Viva La Cats, your favorite Bearcats podcast. I'm Steve Maurer, and I'm not joined by my co host, Justin Hiles. This week, he is off cruising the high seas of some sea. I don't know which. He didn't tell us, and I don't think he has connection for me to text him because he hasn't been responding to my text. So we're here anyway, and we're going to just go through a quick little rundown of what's been going on in the past week of Bearcat sports. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for watching. Make sure to leave a rating, follow, like, comment, all that good stuff. We use that to help you create more Bearcat shows and create more great content for you guys. So thank you so much for doing that. Shout out to the 1012 Network. You can go listen to our show as many other shows as well. Follow the entire Big 12 on the 1012 Network. A lot of great stuff going on with basketball, baseball, football, softball, wrestling, tennis. There's a whole bunch of sports going on right now, and the 1012 Network is covering all of it. And we're going to get to some of our friends who are helping us bring you the show later on in this episode. But you know what? I'm in Arizona. It's sunny outside. You know what sport brings the sun a lot? Is I said football. I am so sorry, everyone. First time flying solo, so bear with me. Baseball. Cincinnati's baseball team, those baseball Bearcats, led by head coach Jordan Bishel in his second year, they started their season this past weekend. And what did they do? They started the season with an absolute bang. They defeated number 11 Duke in a series in Durham 2-1, with the only loss coming in a 12-inning game on Saturday. And, this was not unexpected for this team to come out and play like this, but man, what a way to start your season. And it's just a testament to Jordan Bishel. This guy came in, completely turned around the program last year, made Cincinnati fans have a belief and an opportunity that they could go to the tournament already. First time since 2019, only second time since 1974 that would have happened. But unfortunately, UC did not make it in as an at-large team, despite having a pretty good resume as a Northern team. But this year, everybody, listen up. We've got a good team, and we just beat number 11 Duke. And for the first time ever since D1 baseball started as a publication in 2015, your Cincinnati Bearcats, that's right, they're ranked. They're ranked in the top 25. They are number 25 this week on D1 baseball's weekly top 25. And I want to give the credit to a couple people. Obviously the team brings a specific style of play. If you watch Jordan Bishel's video that he promoted last week, he's talked about the team's motto this year being 10 games. And I can't really rattle off what the 10 games means just off the top, but in short, it's being aggressive, playing winning baseball, limiting errors, making good pitches, bunting, and boy, I tell you, I think we're the button cats right now because I think I counted at least 10 from over the weekend. They're aggressive, man, and they're not going to stop. And, they could have probably laid off the gas a little bit in the late innings when it was, when they were up by 6 or 7. But no, they decided on Sunday, they decided to pour it on and make it a 19-5 final and show everybody, okay, we're for real. We're here. And I think the Duke head coach was a little bit upset about that. But those same guys at D1 Baseball who ranked the Bearcats in the top 25 on their podcast this week, they talked about how Jordan Bishel brings a specific style of baseball that is hard for teams to play against over one weekend. And, these games are only played over a weekend. And so they're going to catch a lot of teams off guard this year, especially as a Northern team. A lot of teams within the South and Western region of the country don't really expect Northern teams to come in and do much on the weekends. So they're going to come in and they're not going to catch anybody by surprise because of this weekend result, but they're going to play hard. They're going to play aggressive. They're going to make good pitches. They have a pretty decent bullpen. I like their weekend starters as well. And they have a lineup of boppers. And Carrington Cross, by the way, shout out to him, 2 home runs and 14 RBI on the weekend. Nice light weekend, not too bad. He and Loudon Brooks are kind of the leaders of this offense, what's going to make it run. And Carrington Cross is also manning a great third base as well. I wanted to shout out Cameron Mitchell as well, who plays infield, outfield, and pitcher. And he was the one didn't really get the save on Friday night, but there was a little bit of a hairy situation. One out, two men on, bottom of the ninth, with UC up by 5 runs, and Mitchell, or C, as his teammates called him in the post game video, came on and really he got the last two outs there and closed down the game. Opening day win, everybody loves. But I do want to say this, it's there's going to be some ups and downs in this season, but think about Cincinnati baseball. Let's be honest here. How many of you listening to this show thought we were going to start today with Cincinnati baseball? Probably. They played pretty well this weekend, but I think this is the time for UC baseball and UC fans to really coalesce around this baseball team. We've obviously, if you've been listening to this podcast all season long, you've been listening to the struggles with the football team, struggles with the basketball team, just talking about how those programs have not really been able to live up to their full potential this year. And that's okay. It's obviously we've talked about the intricacies with each one, but baseball, this is fun. This is fresh, new, exciting. And Jordan Bishel, they play an exciting style of ball. So I want everybody to consider at least going down to one game this year, if not multiple. Season tickets are relatively affordable, I think. And, the day-to-day games are pretty affordable as well. And who knows, you might see a couple raffle nights or something like that as we go along. But I think there's been a thought in my head personally that we don't really have a third sport. There's a lot of our other conference compatriots, they have three solid sports that have a pretty good following, and we really only have two, if I'm being honest with ourselves. And I would love to have more. We always talk about the Bearcat sports wrap up every week, and we would really like to get into more of those other supporting other sports, but it's all right, and it's limited bandwidth, especially in a pro city. I get it, but you should support this baseball team. They deserve your support. They're going to be on the road for the next 2 weekends. Unfortunately, their first home game isn't until March 5th. That's life as a northern school in college baseball, but they deserve your attention. They deserve you to watch them on the weekends and support your school, support the red and black. Watch those baseball Bearcats. They're going to be a lot of fun. This upcoming weekend, they got 4 games at UNLV, close by to where I live. Not really feasible for me to just fly up there and back for a weekend, but it's only a 4-hour drive. The same with San Diego next weekend when they play UC San Diego. Maybe I could drive out there. If you see just a happenstance tweet from me, maybe I did it. But I'd say probabilities are low on that one. I'll say though, what the sky's the limit right now with this baseball team after getting a huge series win like that on the road against the top 15 team in the country. They're going to play that certain way. It's going to be hard for teams to stop them. And I just hope that the momentum keeps growing because they deserve it. And we honestly, Cincinnati fans, we've had a rough couple of years in the Big 12. We deserve a winner. We deserve to support a winner. And these guys deserve your support. So I think that's a perfect time and the perfect way for people to come out and support this team, support this organization, and support what these guys are doing, man. Like it's a fun time in Cincinnati baseball, rewriting new traditions, new standards, and jump on the train. So I want to shout out Jordan Bishel, by the way, and Johnny Cunningham. I know we've talked about you as well, but I think there's one thing you need to do either this season or after this season, and to try to keep Mr. Bishel around. I understand we've talked a lot about money for getting rid of people during the other 2 sports seasons that we mainly talked about on this podcast for the 2024-2025 school year, but I think there could possibly be an extension on the way for one Mr. Jordan Bishel, Coach Bishel, by the way. And speaking of coaches in baseball, you know what? I am wearing this beautiful Charlie Hustle gear. And if you're watching on YouTube at youtube.com/Viva the Cats pod, you can see me adorning this beautiful Cincinnati Charlie Hustle shirt. I'm lifting it up for the camera now. Cincinnati Bearcats 1992 finalists with the basketball going through the hoop, little retro feel to it. But, Charlie Hustle has been there for us from day one, ever since we joined the 1012 network. And we really appreciate them for always standing by us. So you should stand by them. Once you go to charliehustle.com and use the promo code 1012 network for 15% off all non-sale items. So, and this upcoming weekend, there might be something that you might be interested in if you go to charliehustle.com. I'm not going to say yet just what it is, but you should pay attention this weekend to charliehustle.com. they're going to have some good stuff out there. So once again, that promo code is 1012 network for 15% off all non-sale items. And by the way, while you're on charliehustle.com and after you've taken advantage of that, why don't you go ahead and go over to our friends at extrapointsmb.com. I talked about recently on a podcast how much I enjoyed the um, the Matt the Matt Brown's how much I enjoyed Matt Brown's daily newsletter, and I get it in my inbox 5 times a week, and it gives me informed with all of the business of college sports, good and bad. There's a lot of good stuff in there. Matt's been really great about writing about the EA college football story from stem to stern. He's been great about writing personal stories about traveling with Hawaii football or meeting the same guys from the Lot 18 crew that we met, the Viva the Cats boys met in BYU in Provo in 2023. So if you have some time and you're interested and you're really looking to learn more about the business of college sports, why don't you give extrapointsmb.com a try with Matt Brown? He's great, publishes 5 days a week, and it's really good to keep you informed. And in this ever-changing world of college athletics, what better way to keep yourself informed and try to stay afloat of what's really going on from Division three and NAIA all the way up to SEC, Big Ten, obviously Big 12, the best one. Go ahead and support Extra Points and go to extrapointsmb.com to get your free subscription today. Delivered right to your inbox, 2 to 5 days a week. There's also a premium tier if you're interested. So we will move on now from baseball to the basketball team. And as I record this tonight, the Cincinnati Bearcats will be playing at West Virginia. Good game for the Bearcats to try and, keep their what seems to be fledgling tournament hopes alive. West Virginia is currently favored by 3.5 points. It would be a quad one win for Cincinnati. And I do just want to share real quick. And if you're on the YouTube watching the video with me, you can you can see with me what I am talking about. So I am on the site bracketologist.com, and we are looking at the remaining schedule for Cincinnati. So Cincinnati has 6 games left. 3 of those games are quad one games at West Virginia, home against Baylor next Tuesday, and then at Houston next Saturday. By the way, I'm recording this the night after Kansas was lost by about 1 million points on the road at BYU. And it looks like Houston is well on their way to winning their second consecutive Big 12 regular season title in a league where Houston pretty much dominated for years, or for Kansas did. I'm sorry. So I just want to shout out Houston. Man, they're fun to watch, and it's pretty cool how the Kansas fans were talking a lot of crap, and Houston has decided to just come in and roll them. So I'm pretty impressed with what Houston has done, but I want to go back to what the Bearcats are doing right now. So we've got we've got 6 games there on the screen. And so what the Bearcats will need to do is they'll need to go probably 4-2, if not 5-1 in this stretch. And so with that, if they really have any chance of making the tournament, they will need to really solidify some good wins down the stretch here. So in saying that, what are the opportunities? Now, if you really can't lose more than 2 games, these 2 games against Houston, not this Saturday, but next Saturday is probably your only certified loss on here. Everything else is when you're within your realm of possibility, but realizing what Cincinnati has done this year, no game is certain for sure. So I would say if Cincinnati really has a chance of getting in to the final dance here, they need to win all 5 of the last 6 and then win 2 more games in the tournament. So that puts you at 22-11 for the season. Now, does that get you in if you're only right now on bracket matrix, only on two potential brackets out of 86 possible? Will that get you in? I don't think so. And I don't think that too many other teams are going to be dropping off right now. If we look at bracket matrix right now, that we'll see how far the Bearcats are down the list. This morning I checked, and they were only on uh, one bracket. So say my Chrome is saying bracket matrix is unsafe. Good to know. Thank you, Chrome. But yes, right now they're only on two brackets with Indiana and North Carolina is on four, Xavier is on five, SMU on eight, Georgia on 33. And the last team in, according to Bracket Matrix, is Arkansas, who's got 68. And so that's out of 104 bracketologists who have all pulled their brackets together and are choosing to share with everyone what their predictions are. So if the Bearcats are only on two right now, they have a lot of work to do, and I don't really think it's going to happen. So if we think that Cincinnati really has a chance to get to the tournament, which I don't really think they do, but found something that would go a long way towards doing that is winning this game at West Virginia, giving them back a taste of their own medicine when it was potentially like one of the lowest points of the season, losing that home game to West Virginia. And after that, to the Bearcats' credit, they did go on that 3-game winning streak after that when all hope seemed lost. That was right before the dodgeball game or the dodgeball practice. So maybe West Virginia can give back some of the good vibes, but Cincinnati did not look great in the second half against Iowa State. Now, I did tweet that TJ Otzelberger had a conversation with head official Tony Padilla before at halftime before the second half on Saturday, and that did lead to a lot more foul calls and a lot more free throws for Iowa State in the second half. And just James fouled out, and the Bearcats ended up losing by 11 in a game where they were tied at halftime. And I do think that that leaned a certain way, especially when you're in Hilton. It's not implausible for me to think, and I kindly asked the Big 12 to look into it a little bit further. I'm not going to repeat my words on the show, but I think if you go to our Twitter at Viva the Cats Pod, you can find that out for yourself. So it was always going to be a tough game, obviously, going into Iowa State and winning that one. And credit to the Bearcats, they kept it close. They did play well despite some of the disadvantages by the officials, and then just West getting a technical when he really didn't need to, and that kind of taking us out of the game. It's been a tough stretch for them, and they're 5-9 right now. Like I said, they have six games left. They probably have to win 5 of their next 6, and realistically 7 of their next 8 to have any chance of making it to the tournament, or they're going to go to the college basketball crown, not the NIT, because the Big 12 is contractually obligated to go to the college basketball crown tournament in Vegas, being televised by Fox Sports, which I have not realized that a lot of people don't know that. So they keep making NIT jokes. And I also think they're just making NIT jokes to make NIT jokes. But regardless, I wanted to make sure everyone was informed that there will be no NIT berth because you're going to go to the college basketball crown and not the NIT. So there you go. But I would say that if only two brackets out of 104 on Bracket Matrix have the Bearcats comfortably in the field right now, and it's probably in the Dayton version of the first 4 of the tournament, you don't really have a lot of leg room, but hopefully that frees them up to play loose and go out there and play with a little bit of this the renewed passion that they had during their 3-game winning streak. And we see that after BYU's win last night against Kansas, that's looking to be a pretty good win right now. So you're hoping that BYU can jump up, and then UCF can stay where they are. Their UCF is currently hanging on to 75th in quad 1, and UCF lost to Colorado on Saturday. So I don't think that win will stay as a quad 1 win for a long time, but hopefully that BYU win will help them jump up into the top 30 and make that a quad 1 win. But right now, if you look at the net, Cincinnati is 8-10 in the first 2 quadrants. I don't really think that's going to get it done. So you'll have to really stack up some wins. Hopefully you can get a couple more quad 1 wins. I don't think they're going to win at Houston, but if they can win 5 of their next 6 and potentially 7 of their next 8, 7 of their next 9, if they win 2 games in the Big 12 tournament, that's 22-12. I could see it. It's not unrealistic that a team that would likely be 14-10 or 15 15 and 12 in the first two quadrants would get in the tournament because they've played a majority of their games within those first two quadrants. But it's a long shot, and they need to win all those games, and they've already lost to both West Virginia, all three of West Virginia, Baylor, and Kansas State, and they have TCU, Houston, and Oklahoma State remaining still. So all that to say, it does not really seem realistic right now, but why don't we just give it the old college try and just see how far we can get? And I think this team is fighting, playing with a little bit more passion and intensity, but they need to just come out and keep that fire going before the offseason hits because I don't think people are ready to have those conversations just yet. Okay, well, we are going to wrap it up here with a little bit of our Big 12 head to head. And I can show you our head to head because I believe in transparency and showing you what we've been doing with our Viva la Cash segment. So every week we've been updating our draft picks for basketball. And right now, uh, as we record, we currently have a pretty sizable advantage uh, for Cincinnati, for not for Cincinnati, for your friends Justin and Steve. So let me go ahead, and if you're watching on the YouTube stream, you'll be able to uh, see here what I am talking about. So now, so as of right now, Justin and myself, yours truly, have an 8-game advantage over both Joel and the Ghost team. Joel and the Ghost team both have 59 wins on the season, and Joel has really taken a dip in the conference portion of the schedule with Arizona State, Kansas, and obviously, unfortunately, our Bearcats all kind of taking downward slides there. He will get a win tonight because Cincinnati and West Virginia are playing each other, so that will add one. And the Ghost team of Baylor, Texas Tech, UCF, and Colorado. Shout out to Colorado. They got a win on the weekend, so they are not completely over in Big 12 play, but it's unfortunately looking like that Joel might have to do some running at the end of the season. But we will see. We will figure out who will be doing what. But currently, as it stands, the main co-hosts of this show, Joel and Justin and Steve, we're looking pretty good on that running portion. And Joel, my friend, might have to be running some more laps or unalives, Bearcats, whatever you want to call them. We just can't say the one word that everybody knows. But it's the commonly basketball drill where you run up and down the court. I think everybody knows what I'm talking about. So that's our current update on that. And you're listening to this probably either right before or after Cincinnati plays their game against West Virginia. But right now, I said the point spread is 3.5, and I'm pulling up the over under right now. We have an over under of 128.5, and that does seem like to be right on the money there. So I think if you're going to really stay in the hunt to get into a postseason berth, you need to win tonight. And I'm going to say that West Virginia will lose tonight. Give me Cincinnati plus 2.5, Cincinnati money line, and I will take the over because the Bearcats have been scoring a lot of points lately. So that 128.5 does seem kind of low, even for a West Virginia team that does not like to give up many points. But I will take the over 128.5 and Bearcats plus 2.5, Bearcats money line. So why don't you put that together and see what that gets you on one of the many sports books that are around and available in our world today. And then also Cincinnati's got TCU at home on Saturday. That's another one that the Bearcats probably need to win to have a good chance to get in the tournament. And I'm going to say Cincinnati wins that one too. It's a good thing that Cincinnati is not playing at TCU because TCU is rolling right now at home, and that is a hard place to play. So good thing to get since TCU at home, a little reminiscent of our first Big 12 home win last year. So hopefully those vibes can come back and really present themselves once again. So I'm going to say that Cincinnati men's basketball sweeps this week and wins both. And now we're going to wrap it up with, you ready for it? You ready? the Bearcat Sports Wrap Up. Cincinnati, a busy weekend over the weekend. Cincinnati completed in the track and field at Music City Challenge, and they had multiple event winners and 3 program records fall. And Cincinnati is currently ranked number 21 in the nation in indoor track and field. So shout out to our track and field. They don't really get us love as much love from the match from other Bearcat podcasts, but we're here to shout them out. So good for them, man. That's awesome, and I hope they keep doing it and keep it up. I am a track and field fan, track and field stan, so I root them on. I cheer them willingly. Women's lacrosse this past week, they unfortunately dropped one to Louisville on Wednesday, but did defeat Robert Morris 18-4 on Saturday. So good result for Cameron Callahan and the Bearcats. She had 4 goals in this past game. And then the lacrosse team will go ahead and they will play Marquette at home this Thursday, tomorrow as you listen, or today as you listen, at 3 p.m. And then they will be going up to Dick's Stadium to play at Kent State on Sunday. So good weekend upcoming for the women's lacrosse team. Hopefully they can get back to winning ways and get back to a winning record. Baseball, like we mentioned at the top of the show, baseball has been on a roll, and they will play a 4-game set this weekend in Las Vegas, Nevada at UNLV. Hopefully they can roll off a couple wins there and do something and keep that winning record afloat. Women's basketball. The women have unfortunately been on a tough stretch recently. They lost on Saturday by 19 at number 18 West Virginia, and they did lose as well to Kansas State last week, and it's been a little bit of a tough one for them. So they will look to bounce back tonight as you're listening at Texas Tech in Lubbock, and they will also host Utah on Sunday at Fifth Third Arena. And one more for you. We've got the tennis program. Tennis did defeat Miami up in Oxford this past weekend, 6-1, 6 sets to 1. So shout out to the tennis team. Keep doing your thing. That's awesome. And they will not be playing another match until next weekend when they play at number 22 Baylor in Waco, Texas. And by the way, track and field, their next meet is not until next weekend. As same with swimming and diving, when both will have their Big 12 conference championships. One will be in Washington, and the swimming and diving will be in Washington, and track and field will be in Lubbock, Texas. So that is your Bearcat Sports wrap up for the week that was and the week to come. Thank you for listening to this solo show with your boy Steve, and letting Justin sail off into the seas on a wonderful cruise. And we will both be back next week. Go Bearcats! Viva the Cats!